Okay, hello, hello, hello. What have I got in my hand today? Yep, you guessed it. You can see it. You can see the writing there. It's a BlackBerry. A BlackBerry Passport to be exact. And you may be asking yourself, Raymond, you're an Android guy. What you doing with a BlackBerry? What you doing with the BlackBerry Passport? The reason I decided to have this in my hand and do a quick review was I got a chance of it. Somebody was selling it. They're selling it for around $120. So I looked online, saw that that was a pretty decent price. Whilst checking online, I discovered that not only does the phone come pre-installed, as you can see here, with the Amazon App Store, you can actually do a thing called side loading, and you can install a client for the Google Play Store. So I downloaded the necessary files. You do need a PC. The actual work entailed was very, very simple. Google it. There's a couple of methods. It was easy enough to do. I'm not a genius, and I managed it. So that was a reason enough for me, and the fact that it's something, a new gadget for me to play with, was reason enough for me to buy it. Now, spec wise, I'll quickly go over it. This is a Qualcomm 801 Snapdragon that is clocked at 2.26 gigahertz. It's 32 GB internal memory and has 3 GB of RAM. It has 13 megapixel camera, and it has a 2 megapixel front camera, I believe. 4G, NFC, Bluetooth, all that good stuff. So spec wise, it's not bad, and even though this phone is probably, well, it's nearly 2 years old, it's still pretty good. Now, the unusual thing about the BlackBerry Passport is the shape of it. And I remember seeing it when it came out, and I thought, that looks really stupid, and that was it. I didn't think any more. Then I saw it in the shop, I think maybe about a year ago, and I had it in my hand, and I thought, no, it doesn't seem as bad as I originally thought. Now I've been using it for about a week, and I like it. Yep, you get used to it, even though it's quite wide. I got reasonably sized hands. I'm used to it, and I really quite like it. Now, the physical keyboard here, ding 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 ding, I'm still getting used to. That's a real throwback, using a physical keyboard. And even though I reviewed that VK World T2 a couple of weeks ago, or about a month ago, and it had a keyboard, I really didn't use it much, because it's a bit of a learning curve again, going back to using a physical keyboard. But having said that, it's been pretty good using it, but I'm not that fast. There's some other uses for the keyboard as well. You can use it to scroll, if you can see here, especially when you're on the internet, going through Google, etc., whatever. You can use that. It works pretty well. Now, for music, I put on some songs. I'll just show you here. Let me see. I use this app called Pi Music. I put in my on-ear RHA headphones, and I was really surprised. The quality was, I thought, really, really good. Maybe not as good as my PPTV King 7, but I was very, very pleasantly surprised, and I think it is more than acceptable for you to listen to your tunes to and from work. Yep, it's really good. The BlackBerry blurb said that the reason for this 4.5-inch screen, which has an unusual resolution, is 1440 by 1440. The reason they said, and it's more kind of like geared towards business people, was that this aspect ratio can hold up to 60 characters for reading, as opposed to 40, which is meant to be the normal. I didn't know that, but that's what they said. And since I've been using it, I have found out that it is more comfortable reading. Now, it's not as big as most phones that we're using these days, and it's certainly not as big as my just let me touch my camera there. Not as big as obviously the 6-inch screen that I'm using on the PPT TV King 7, but it's you really get used to it. The quality of the screen is brilliant. It's really good. The colours are great, viewing angles are great. It's just really sharp. So you do get used to using it. Now, going back to the access to Google Play, there's an app called, if you can see here, it's called this one. It's called Snap. Let's see if I can, and this is the client that gives you access to most of the apps on, well, it gives you access to all of the apps. Not all of them work on the Google Play Store. Nearly every app and this is the one you have to sideload, of course, to get that, but once you've done it, that's it. You don't need to do it again. Now, some of the apps I tried that didn't work, I tried Google Duo. It didn't work. I tried Skype. That didn't work. But Tango works. WhatsApp have a native BlackBerry app, so that worked fine. And some other ones that I tried, some games that I tried to download, they installed, but they wouldn't play. Most other apps, Facebook, everything else that I'm using, works fine. And really, I haven't found it to be annoying in any way. Maybe we have to think a wee bit more about what we do before we install an app, but yeah, I think it's fine. And using it on a daily basis has actually become a pleasure. I'm really enjoying it. Now, for media consumption other than music, there's well, okay, I will show you this. Now, you can see this message here. I did try, and when I was trying to install Google Duo, it said that I needed to install Google Play services, so which I did, and now I just keep getting this message, so I'm going to have to uninstall that. So getting back to video now, this is just a video from YouTube, and you can see that these big black bands here, so that might not suit everybody. It's okay, I suppose, for casual watching, but and there may be a way of removing them, but because of the squareness of the screen, I think this is why you have these big black borders. I mean, it's not bad, and I suppose you could get used to it. So for me, I'm not really watching too much. I'm using my PPTV King 7 for watching stuff, so it's not such a big deal. Gaming wise, the this one here, I don't know what the heck it's called, but yeah, I mean, this is just a pretty basic game. Let me get the shoot some of these before I no, come on. Where are they? Anyway, these are relatively basic games. It looks pretty good. The quality is pretty good, and I think really if the game installs and you can open it, I think that it will work pretty well. It looks good with that processor and that amount of RAM. I think you don't have to worry too much about games. Now, you can put an SD card on this up to 256 GB, which is excellent if you can afford to buy that size of card. I will probably put a 64 GB card in it. That'd be enough for me, just for some of my media. BlackBerry, I don't really have any real experience with. I bought a couple of years ago, or whenever it came out, probably more than a couple of years ago now, I bought a BlackBerry Torch for my wife. And I remember at the time thinking, although the screen is small, I remember thinking it was really nice. It was very sensitive. The colours were really good. But then, that was it. I really, have been stuck to Android for most of the time. So I've been pleasantly surprised with the BlackBerry Hub. I like it. All your notifications all there, easy to access. I like the way of swiping up to put your apps in the background. This is the games, that's the video here. I like that. The rest, I haven't even learned to use it that much, to be honest with you, but I've been enjoying using it, the whole experience, other than trying to get used to ding 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 ding, the typing. I've really enjoyed using it. Now the camera, as I said earlier, is 13 megapixel, and I took some photos, and I was pleasantly surprised with these are covers from albums. I won't show you any of my photos. There's nothing interesting to see. The camera quality I thought was excellent, really good. Okay, so as a camera, yep, it's looks really good, and the photos look pretty nice on this screen. It has OIS, optical image stabilization, so if you have a wee bit of a shaky hand, or it isn't easy using this, you really have to get used to this size of phone, but once you get used to it, the OIS really helps. Video quality, I did a very quick video clip, and yep, it was pretty good. I'm probably not going to be doing a lot of video on this, but you never know, who knows, maybe I will. So camera, etc., really good. The battery, I think if I mentioned, it was a nearly 3,500 mAh battery, and I found it to last a good day and a half. If I was using it less, say for the internet and the Wi-Fi, I'd probably get 2 days out of it. So the battery is actually really good. Now, I'm in KSA. If you live in the US, you can probably pick up a new BlackBerry Passport for around at less than $200. And if you factor in that you can get access to the Amazon store, you can get access to Google Play Store, you've got the BlackBerry store, you have a relatively well-spec phone, even by today's standard, with a good camera, although a bit unusual screen. I really think that this could be a bit of a bargain. It's unusual, definitely. That shape does take a wee bit of time to get used to, but as I said, after 1 week of using it, I'm really enjoying it. It is my main phone at the moment with my main SIM card in it, although I'm using my PPTV King 7 for most other stuff, media, reading, internet, that kind of thing. But this is my go-to phone for work and for personal use. So yep, I have been really surprised. Now it's running BB BlackBerry OS, I think it's 10 something or other. I just updated it. Now BlackBerry, as we know, are finished with the phone business. What they will do with their OS, I'm not sure. I'm assuming there'll probably still be a few updates. That might be a deal breaker for some people, but if it continues to work with the Snap and with the Amazon store, then really I think this phone is definitely worth considering if you wanted to be a wee bit different, stand out from the crowd. I think they have this. Obviously this is the white version. They have a silver version, looks nice, and they have a black version. The phone is a bit heavy, but it's not bad. I think it said it's about 196 grams. Really, the weight of it makes it kind of feel premium, good quality. You feel that it's a relatively solid phone. So, and that with the music, sound of the music, the camera, this interesting screen, certainly for us who are us that do a lot of reading, then and you have a lot of emails, I really do think that it is worth considering, especially maybe for your work. You know, and if you look on eBay, you may be able to pick this up maybe about the same kind of price as I got it for, and really I don't think you'd be disappointed. Don't let this logo and this name put you off. For a second-hand or a refurbished phone with these kind of specs, this unusual screen, yeah, I'm really liking it. Okay, now whether I will keep it long term, I don't know. It might be hard for me to sell it as it's second-hand, so it's third-hand now. I may just keep it. Who knows? I keep saying that, and then I end up selling it. But I'm on a daily basis, I'm really enjoying using it. So kudos to the guy who developed the Snap app. Well done you, because really this has made a more viable phone for Android users. I don't know if there's any kind of thing you can do for ROMs, if you can install an Android ROM on it. I'm not exactly sure. And as I said, let's hope that they keep the BlackBerry OS updated for a wee while longer. And I really do think that you have a phone that is a bit different, and this is what I like. Always like to be a wee bit different. This is why I'm into decent Chinese phones. I'm moving away from the big brands, and I just like to be different. And you know, now it feels okay to use a BlackBerry that the company is gone. Their phone business has gone by the wayside. That might seem a bit strange, but I quite like having a BlackBerry now. So do you fancy it? Yes, maybe, who knows. If you have some money spare and you want to give it a try, then you know, go on to eBay and have a wee look. Check Amazon as well. Maybe they will have some refurbished ones at decent prices, second-hand ones. I really don't think that you would regret it. I think you would enjoy using it. It's fast, it's fluid, the screen is nice, a good camera, music sounds good, video, well, you know, I mean, that's okay for watching short videos, etc. But yep, I'm really enjoying it. And would I recommend it? Yeah, I would. So, you know, get up off your chair, get online, have a wee look at the prices, and you know, buy one. So anything you want to ask, any questions, etc., etc., the usual in the comments, I will do my best to answer them.